Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Nitai, Gaur Sundar, Jaya Nitai, Gaur Sundar, Jaya Nitai, Gaur Sundar. Nitai, Gaur Sundar, Jaya Nitai, Gaur Sundar. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gaurani, Jaya Gaurani, Bangalore Gaurani, Bangalore Gaurani, Bangalore Sri Radhe. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Vamana Dev, Vamana Dev, Vamana Dev, Jaya Vamana Dev. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
I'm sorry, many devotees wrote for the distribution. So it's okay. Request everybody to come forward.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Can devotees please come forward? Who has got kids around, request them to be silent. Okay. We're very fortunate to have the. We're very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Satchitananda Prabhu here. Let's welcome him with one love. Hare Krishna in the beginning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare. But he was absolutely perfectly on time. So we are slow. We apologize for the sake. So for my clarification, just quickly introducing Prabhuji here. So Satchitananda Prabhu is the disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj. He's associated and has been serving Iskcon for over 33 years now. So he's an expert. His forte is in kirtans, bhajans, lectures, seminars on Bhagavad Gita, Vaishnava bhajans, Srimad Bhagavatam, Gaudiya Vaishnava teachings, and many more. Right. So I just got a small list here. And Prabhuji's traveled all the way from Canada. He's been touring around the world. He goes to different places, gives the spiritual knowledge to all of them. So he's been invited to speak on the spiritual subject matters, conducting many preaching tours, delivering various seminars and lectures at various Iskcon centers globally. To just name a few, he's now in India. So he's been from Canada, US, Russia, Sweden, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Thailand, and Mexico. That's the list that we have here. He's covered all the places that Srila Prabhupada has been, and he's been with other places as well. We're very fortunate that he's here. He's presently serving the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group, Bhagavad Vani, and Iskcon. He's dedicated to the service of Srila Prabhupada and by sharing Srila Prabhupada's teachings and glories all over the world. Okay, so we are so fortunate. So let's put our mobile phones on silent. Let's keep our kids.
1 month back, few classes of Saram Bhavato.
Okay. Golden Village, Prabhuji was teaching in the Bhakti Sarvabhauma classes. Oh, Hari Hari. So fortunate, yeah. So let's attentively hear the class. Let's again welcome Prabhuji with one Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama.
And I want everybody to chant Hare Krishna for yourselves. Hare Krishna! Thank you very much. I am so honored. Anukul Keshav Prabhu, our Iskcon Sheshadhipuram Jagannath Mandir Temple President, Mithiladish Prabhu, have gracefully invited me here. So I'm very humbled and honored. And to all the wonderful Vaishnavas, everybody present here, I always say wherever I go, Srila Prabhupada has built a house everywhere in every corner of the world where everyone can live, regardless of which background we are from. We are the real family. So today we will serve Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam in chronological order from first canto, chapter number 7, verses 26 and 27. I believe 26 has got a very short, is that right? 26, 27? Very short purport, so we will go into 27. I will just recite the 26th verse, quickly read the translation and the 3 or 4 line purport, and then we will repeat verse number 27 altogether. Is it displayed? No. Okay, no problem. So those who have their smartphones, you can open up Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 7, verse number 26, 27, please be ready. 26 I will do by myself, just to save some time. Is that okay, Prabhuji? So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Muriraye. शृण्वन्ता स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तनम् हृदयन्तस्त भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सता नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके श्रीर्भवती नैष्ठिकी. Serving Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter number 7, verses 26 and 27. Kim vadam ikim idam svitkuto veti devadevana vedamiyaham sarvato mukham ayati teja parama darunam. Translation and short purport was Divine Guru Prabhupada. O Lord of Lords, how is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand. Purport by His Divine Guru Prabhupada ki Jai. Anything that is presented before the personality of Godhead should be so done after due presentation of respectful prayers. That is the standard procedure. And Sri Arjun, although an intimate friend of the Lord, is observing this method for general information. Verse number 27. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Vetedam Drona Putrasya Brahmanastram Pradarshitam Naivasu Veda Samharanam Pranabadha Upasthite. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Vetidam Drona Putrasya Brahmamastram Pradarshitam Naivasau Veda Samharanam Pranabadha Upasthite. Prabhu's
Vededam Drona Putrasya Brahmamastram Pradarshitam Naivaso Veda Samharanam Pranabadha Upasthite. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Vededam Drona Putrasya Naivaso Veda Samharanam
Vaishnavis, Matajis.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Vededam Drona Putrasya Brahmamastram Pradarshitam Naivaso Veda Samharanam Pranabadha Upasthite. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Vededam Drona Putrasya Brahmamastram
Translation, word to word meaning, kindly repeat. Sri Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uvacha, said, Veda, just know from me, Idam, this, Drona Putrasya, of the son of Drona, Brahmam Astram, hymns of the Brahma, nuclear weapon, Pradarshitam, exhibited, Na, not, Eva, even, Asal, hey, Veda, know it, Samaram, retraction, Pranabadhi, extinction of life, Upasthiti, being imminent. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki. Kindly repeat the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, know from me that this is the act of son of Drona. He has thrown the hymns of nuclear energy, Brahmastra, and he does not know how to retract the glare. He has helplessly done this, being afraid of imminent death. Purport. The Brahmastra is similar to the modern nuclear weapon manipulated by atomic energy. The atomic energy works wholly on total combustibility, and so the Brahmastra also acts. It creates an intolerable heat similar to atomic radiation, but the difference is that the atomic bomb is a gross type of nuclear weapon, whereas the Brahmastra is a subtle type of weapon produced by chanting hymns. It is a different science, and in the days gone by, such science was cultivated in the land of Bharatvarsh. The subtle science of chanting hymns is also material, but it has yet to be known by the modern materialist scientist. Subtle material science is not spiritual, but it has a direct relationship with the spiritual method, which is still subtler. A chanter of hymns knew how to apply the weapon as well as how to retract it. That was perfect knowledge. But the son of Dronacharya, who made use of this subtle science, did not know how to retract. He applied it, being afraid of his imminent death, and thus the practice was not only improper but also irreligious. As the son of a Brahmin, he should not have made so many mistakes, and for such gross negligence of duty, he was to be punished by the Lord himself. Om Jnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manoyavishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Savarna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Vitamscha Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajesh Tanayas Taddham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadvargena Taya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavata Purana Amalam Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Mataidam Nayatra Agraha Varaha Kadachit Kalindi Tata Vipina Sangita Tarava Mudabhiri Nari Kamala Swada Madhupa Ramashambhu Brahma Ganesharchita Pado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Ajanulambito Bhujo Kanakayavadhato Sankirtanay Pitarvo Kamalayataksho Vishwambharo Dijavaro Yugadharva Palo Vande Jagata Priyakaro Karuna Avataro Navaniradhanindita Kantidharam Rasosagar Nagar Bhupavaram Shubhavankimacharu Sikhanda Sikhim Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vrajaraja Sutam Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vrajaraja Sutam Radhika Sarodaindu Nindimukha Mandali Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Vandiye Shripad Padma Vrishabhanu Nandini Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasada Nagati Kutopi Dayanstu Vams Yasya Stri Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravinda Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. So, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas, offline and online, and my hundreds and thousands of obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Guruvar. So whatever I may speak will be as it is in line of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, in this chapter, in particular, just to summarize, because some may have just joined, some may not be attending in chronological order. So, we will simply capture the essence up to what has happened now in this particular chapter up to verse number 25, 26 and 27. After Vyasadeva, in the previous canto, Vyasadeva, in the previous chapters, Vyasadeva meets his Guru Maharaj, Naradji, and Naradji manifests Srimad Bhagavatam in his heart. So just to, as a side note, Srimad Bhagavatam is not something that was compiled or composed 5,000 years ago. Just like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in the 4th chapter that I've spoken this Bhagavad Gita, this science, millions of years ago to the sun god Vyasvan. But it got lost in time. Yogam nashta param tapaha. But because you are my friend and my devotee, I'm speaking this to you again. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. It is not something that was just recently 5,000 years ago. It just came about to be. Naradji, who is a pure Vaishnava, especially we are so proud that he is the second Guru in our line. Brahmaji, Krishna gave knowledge to Brahma, Brahma gave knowledge to Naradji, and Naradji gave knowledge to Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, he gave this Srimad Bhagavatam in his heart. And because he had received this Srimad Bhagavatam from Brahmaji. What does the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam say? Om Janmadiyasya Yato Anmayat Itaratascha Abhigyaswara Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. So, this spiritual knowledge was imparted by Lord Krishna himself to Lord Brahma in his heart. And then it comes down in Parampara. So we are so fortunate that our Divine Grace, our Srila Prabhupada, is 32nd in this wonderful Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So after Vyasadeva compiles Srimad Bhagavatam and revising it, Hare Krishna, can you take the child outside, please? Sorry about that, but it is distracting everybody. In our Sanatana Dharma, the principle is Sarvena Sukhi Bhavantu, not just me, and the rest of them can, take a hike. So we have to be conscious of that. Even Srila Prabhupada was told the mothers, if the child is disturbing, then you have to take care of your child. Because the child doesn't have much intelligence, but the parents have intelligence. So we should be very careful. This is Krishna's Naam, Krishna's Katha, Krishna's Rupa, Krishna's Dham. They are non-different from Krishna. So we have to, in Sanatana Dharma, we have to respect that. Most of the religions, they respect their own religion very nicely. We may have not been to a masjid, but we may have heard or seen on TV that one Maulvi is leading the namaz and all of the rest of them are following. No children are playing, no children are crying, no phones are ringing. They are meticulously following. When a church and the father is giving a sermon, there is pin drop silence. Everybody is simply listening very nicely and following. Why can't we do this in our Sanatana Dharma temples? And then we sometimes complain that our Sanatana Dharma is in danger, the other religions are taking over. Who is responsible for that? Us. I have to spend so much time in just kind of sending this message on besides the important message of the subject matter, so that we can open our eyes. Unless and until we show some respect, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatham mam prapadyate tam satateva bhajamiham. So Hari Nam, Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, we should be very, very disciplined, and with love we should hear, chant, etc. If we don't show respect to our own religion or dharma, how do you expect the others outside to show respect? In fact, they laugh on us. And Iskcon is the only movement that does the maximum preaching for free. If you have to put your children in school, to the best schools, private schools, it costs a lot of money. Further, when they go to college, if they go to some big colleges, then they have to spend, even if they go to US, for example, thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars to get an education, spend money to get material education. But here we are getting the highest spiritual science for free. Then we should respect it and train our children. 20 years, 30 years down the road, we will not be existing. But history will repeat. The Mughals came and they forcefully converted everybody to Islam. They forcefully desecrated our temples. We find that in Vrindavan. They were so horrible that they took our deities, broke them into pieces, and they put a scale, like we have the Tuldan right there behind us for Bhagavad Gita. And they put the broken deities, Sri Angas, and on one side they put meat. And simply they urinated in these temples. This is what will happen if we are not careful. So please, get yourself educated, educate your children. Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram acharat pragya dharman bhagavatiya durlabham manusya deha tadapi arthadam adhruvam. One should teach our children from the age of 4 or 5 this Bhagavad Dharma, Krishna consciousness. Why? Because the human form of life is extremely rare. And in spite of it being temporary, adhruvam, we can attain the highest, which is Krishna Bhakti. And that will open the doors of the spiritual kingdom. So, the time is so short. There is no guarantee that we will get a human birth if we have not practiced some bhakti. Krishna has said that anybody who practices some bhakti will be at least guaranteed a human birth. But for the rest, 8,400,000 species, 84 lakh yoni. Simply we have to revolve in that, and maybe in some, after that transmigration, we will get the human birth again. So let us take this very seriously. Prabhupada's mission is to, one of the missions, the 7 missions of Iskcon is to propagate systematically transcendental knowledge to everyone. So please, my humble, and I'm here just here for maybe 1 hour. But after that, some other speaker will be here. After that, the darshan will open, kirtan will be going on. So let's play respect. This is Lord Jagannath, Gaurangi, Bangalore Ishwar, Lakshmi Narsingha Deva, the Supreme, they are the personalities of Godhead. So we should respect them and teach our children for that. Sorry, I had to mention this because I have to mention this even in United States and Canada when I'm giving most of the Iskcon centers, Indian devotees come. I would say about 95%. And this is the same story. They leave the children playing in the aisle, thinking that this is a garden. No, it is not a garden. This is a place of worship. And if our children misbehave or they do not have that sense, parents are responsible. If we don't teach them now, they will think it is okay when they grow up, when they get married, when they have their children, they will also behave like that. Right or wrong? Tell me if everybody agrees. So we have to open our eyes and we have to be more conscious. So thank you so much for bearing with me on this short, sermon on how we should respect Katha, Kirtan, Roop, Naam, etc. So coming back to this subject matter, after in his maturity, when he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Naradji, Vyasdev, he taught this to his own son Sukadeva Goswami. Now the question arises, like between Shaunak and Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami was asked, Shaunak Rishi represented 60,000 rishis, and somebody's phone is crying. Please put it on vibrate or on silence. Thank you so much. हमारे हिंदी में एक कहावत है, कभी कभी भैंस के आगे भागवत पढ़ के क्या फायदा. अभी 10 मिनट हमने कीमती इस भागवत प्रवचन के निकाल लिए, लेकिन फिर भी प्लीज बी कॉन्शियस. थैंक यू. Perhaps you all are very attentive, but I get distracted very fast. So at least for my sake, please help me. Hare Krishna. So here, Sutta Goswami is asked a wonderful question, that why did Sukadeva Goswami have to learn Srimad Bhagavatam from his father? He was already a self-realized soul. Right? Good logic. Is it not? He was already self-realized. So why did he take the trouble to undergo the study of such a vast literature of Srimad Bhagavatam? So Sutta Goswami said that the Atmaramas, meaning that verse, is an amazing verse that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained Sanatana Goswami in 61 different ways. 61 different explanations about what the realized souls are all about. Although they are freed from all kinds of material bondage, they are not controlled by the 3 modes of material nature, the desire to render unalloyed devotional service is so great within their hearts, besides that part of self-realization on the Gyan platform. On the platform of realizing that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, but that is not sufficient. The final realization is that I am Jiva Swarup Hoy, Krishna Nitya Das. I am an eternal servant of Krishna. And further realization is that servant means service. What kind of service will I be rendering to Krishna? So these Atmaramas, or these realized souls like Sukadeva Goswami, etc., are always interested, in spite of having all the knowledge, as they want to hear more and learn more. Right? So that is the reason Sutta Goswami is saying that they are, although self-realized, they are always interested in hearing, chanting, the wonderful, for the unalloyed devotional service. What is unalloyed devotional service? Which does not have a tinge of even materialism. Uh, Srimad Bhagavatam says that Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahituki Apratiyata Jena Atma Suprasidati. What kind of bhakti we should do? So it says, Bhagavatam says that Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, the highest dharma of mankind. We have so many different kind of dharmas. Oh, my dharma towards my family, my dharma towards my community, my dharma towards my own state, my dharma towards my country. So Prabhupada called them all isms, socialism, patriotism, etc. Right? But we have to go beyond that. So Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, the highest dharma of mankind is Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaji. Krishna is known as with the name Adhokshaja, from whom we cannot perceive with our material senses. Beyond our material senses, that is one of the names of Sri Krishna. So Bhakti of Adhokshaja, Krishna, is the highest dharma. And how should it be performed? Ahaituki apratiyata. Ahaituki means without any material motive. And apratiya means uninterrupted. Sometimes we find that many people come more to the temple because they have difficulty in their life. Either they are in the category of Arti Artarthi Jnani Jigyasu. They need money, they are distressed, they want Gyan, or they are inquisitive, they come to the temple. But once they attain, or the temporary distress is removed, then they don't come anymore. Then they say, oh Prabhu, I'll come on Janmashtami, don't worry. But this Sunday, I have to go take my children for football. Oh, I have this birthday party. We have to go there. There is a wedding. So there is a million excuses. Once a week, this facility is made, Priti Bhojan, love feast. We should all encourage each other and encourage others to attend. Apratiyata, uninterrupted. Jena Atma Suprasidhati. And Jena Atma Suprasidhati means then the soul will be completely satisfied. And another meaning that our Vaishnava Acharyas give of that word Jena Atma Suprasiddhi is that Krishna is the Atma in everybody. So when we perform our devotional service nicely, he is satisfied. And that is the general and the most important principle of bhakti. Anya vilashada shunya jnana karma navritam anukulyena Krishna anushenanam tad bhakti uttam. Somebody asked Naradji, tell me in a very short way, what is Uttam Bhakti? What is best bhakti? So in Narad Bhakti Sutra, the sloka is there, which later on Srila Rupa Goswami adopted. The Anya Vilashada, we should not have any material motivation. Not for even Gyan and Karma. Gyan and Karma are helpful to a certain extent. And then, after that, once we enter into the Bhakti region, then we leave that behind. So Arjun, for example, fought not because of karma, that he is a Kshatriya. Krishna explained karma yoga. Krishna explained Gyan yoga. Krishna explained Dhyan yoga. But ultimately he fought based on bhakti yoga. Nashtamo smriti labda tat prasadadat my achyuta gata sandeho stito asmi karishya vachanam tava. I will do exactly as you say, Krishna, because it is your desire. So that Atmaramas, like Sukadeva Goswami, that is why they are interested in studying such an exhaustive literature as Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is what? Prema Pumarto Mahan. It gives us the highest of the highest, which is Krishna Prem. And that too in Vraj. In Vraj. So this is such a sublime scripture. So, because the Lord possesses so many transcendental qualities, and therefore they can attract everyone. Therefore, one of the names of the Lord is Krishna. Krish means to attract, and Na means all. So, Srila Prabhupada mentions in this chapter that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated soul. What is that nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam? Nigama kalpa taro galitam phalam sukha mukhar drava amrutam samvitam vipatara bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhumi bhavuka. So this Bhagavatam is relished by even the liberated souls. So that is why. So Sri Swami was not only transcendently powerful, but he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Now one may ask, how is he very dear devotee? Not only to so many devotees who were present at, during the time of Mahabharata and during that Dwapar Yuga, but who is Sukadeva Goswami? He is none other than the dear parrot of Srimati Radharani in Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela. And in Vrindavan, they have their own animals or birds, special ones. Krishna has his own, Radharani has her own. Like that, they have names. Each and every, when we read Govindilla Amrit of Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami, the same author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, all those details are given. That which peacock, what is the name? There is a she monkey called Kukhati. She is the monkey of Srimati Radharani. And then there is this Sar and Sukhi. They are the parrots of Srimati Radharani. So Sukadeva Goswami has heard so much and seen so much transcendental mellows, but in spite of that, he wants to hear it again and again. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not that we finished it once and we are done. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So Nityam Bhagavat, we have to eternally and every time we read, we get Navarasa, depending on our maturity. As we mature, the same verses are there, the same purport of Srila Prabhupada is there, but some deeper meanings are revealed in our hearts. So that is the reason why Sukadeva Goswami, although so transcendently powerful, he is very dear to the Lord. Because he is dear to Radharani, he is very dear to Krishna. Thus he studied this great narration of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sutta Goswami, he began this transcendental narration, he says, of Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities and deliverance of King Parikshit. So Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto starts with many topics, and one of the topics is, now he has reached this point where Sukadeva Goswami, or later on Sutta Goswami, is speaking and narrating this part about the birth of Krishna, about the activities of Krishna, and about the deliverance of King Parikshit. So there is a connection here as we further understand this chapter. So when the respective warriors of both the camps, when Mahabharata finished, a lot of people were killed. A lot of soldiers were killed. A lot of kings were killed. And then Duryodhan was also killed by Bhima striking him on his spine or on his janga. That's how Krishna directed him, because there was a weakness. Do you know why? Why Duryodhan's body was solid like Vajra. He could not be killed. Anywhere any weapon would strike, it would bounce off. But why the thighs? Why the thighs were weak? Because when he was a child, when Gandhari decided, because Dhritarashtra was blind and she was a Pativrata Nari, she was a very chaste wife. So she said that if my husband cannot see, I will also put a black, what do you call, a cloth, a ribbon, and I will also not see anything. She was so chaste, Gandhari. But one time, what happened, that Duryodhan, he was very small. So mother wanted to protect him, that you will grow nice and strong. So why don't you do one thing? Once I will open my ribbon. That only once I will do that. And you come completely naked in front of me. So that when I glance on you, your whole body will become Vajra. But Duryodhan did not go completely naked. He covered his thighs, his groin area. He wore a small, gamcha or some shorts, some kind of a undergarment. And when Mother Gandhari opened her eyes, the entire body became Vajra. But that part remained weak. So Krishna in Mahabharata tells Bhima, whatever you are doing is useless. You are hitting him on the chest, you are hitting him on the arms, you are hitting him on the stomach, you are hitting him on his head. Nothing is going to. So he indicated, Krishna is the biggest cheater. Nobody can cheat like Krishna. He's the biggest thief. Bilva Mangal Thakur has written a very nice bhajan, Chor Ashtakam. Vraje Prasiddha Navnita Choram Gopagananam Dukkula Choram Aneka Janmarjit Papa Choram Choragraganyam Purusham Namami Choragraganyam Purusham Namami. So nobody can cheat Krishna. He is the number one cheater, transcendental cheater. Similarly, Krishna uses when and because his devotees are very dear. That is why sometimes he lies and cheats. So that is why he told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, you declare Prati Janadi Kaunteya Name Vraktya Pranashati. Because if I say it, why go via? Supposing if I have to say something, I'm saying to the audience directly, but why will I say that, Prabhuji, you say what I just said? Not necessary, no, but it was necessary because Krishna sometimes breaks his promise. So if he says directly that my devotees will not perish, then some people will not have faith that, he's a liar. Sometimes he lies. So what is the guarantee? So he says, Arjun, you declare it. You Ghoshna. Prati Janati Kaunteya Name Bhaktya Pranashati. You declare that my devotee will never perish. So when a devotee declares something, then one who is fully surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna must listen to him. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his introductory song of Sharanagati, he says, Sharanga Sharanagati hoive jar, tar prarthna sune Vrajendra Kumar. When one is fully surrendered with the 6 limbs of surrender, Sharanagati means everybody has some kind of surrender, or they have taken Sharan, whether one is a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever. Some faith is there and they have surrendered to their respective lordships, right? But our definition of surrender is called Sharanagati. What does that mean? If we break it, Sandhi Viche, Sharan plus Agati. Agati means no movement, not that Agati that fall down. So if I take surrender of Krishna, I will fall down. No. The proper meaning of the word Agati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying no movement. Gati means moving, and Agati means no moving, which is the bhav that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Ashlishapada Ratam Pinashtumam Adarsanam Marma Hatam Karotva Yatha Tatha Va Vidato Lampato Mat Prananasa. Whether you kindly hug me, accept me, or whether you kick me, you are my Lord and Master, birth after birth after birth. That is Sharanagati. Whether there are good times, bad times, I'm not leaving your lotus feet. I'm going to be stuck like the Himalaya mountain. Can a mountain like Himalaya be moved? No matter, millions of people can push it. So similarly, that kind of surrender is called Sharanagati. And Sharanagati has got 6 branches. What are those 6 branches? Which is explained in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has taken in his bhajan. That is why we should study Vaishnava bhajans. It is the essence and the summum bonum of all Vedic literature, especially the king of Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam. The essence of the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. The ultimate essence is Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's saying the 6 branches are humility, dainya. Second, Atma Nivedan, giving everything to Krishna. Whatever we have, Manasa Deha Geva Jo Kichumor, Arpilutu Apade Nanda Kishore. Third, Dainya Atma Nivedan, Gopri Devaran. Krishna is my Gopta. He is my supplier of roti kapda makan. Not my degree, not my money, not my job. A Vaishnava is always thinking, no matter how much money I have, it is the mercy of Krishna. He is putting food on my table. He is taking care of us. That is Gopta. Then, the Dainya Atma Nivan Gopti were Avashya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasvara. One has to have full faith, like Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna will certainly protect you. Then the 5th one, Bhakti Anukul Karya Karejasvika. Whatever is conducive to bhakti, we must accept. And the last one, Bhakti Pratikul Bhav Varjanagi. Whatever is not conducive to bhakti, we must reject. So then he says in that bhajan, Sharanga Sharana Yar Tar Pratna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. One who has this full 6 branches of surrender or Sharanagati, then Vrajendra Kumar, the son of Nanda Maharaj, must listen to that devotee. So when Arjun, Krishna says, you declare Pratijanati Kaunteya Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, then Krishna must listen to that sentence because Arjun has declared it. When His Divine Vishnu was said, how many minimum rounds we must chant? Wrong. Minimum 16 good rounds. And you follow the 4 regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead. Now, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada had this rule, minimum 64 good rounds. But in the beginning, when the devotees in New York, Prabhupada said to the first batch, tomorrow is Janmashtami, you all will get initiated. You will follow the 4 regulative principles very strictly and chant minimum 64 good rounds. And then at that time, Professor Howard Wheeler of the Ohio State University, who later on became Hayagriva Prabhu and Hayagriva Swami, he said, no way, Swamiji, not possible. And then he started counting. Each round takes us about in 9 to 10 minutes. Swamiji, it's not possible. And it will take us 12 to 13 hours to chant 16 rounds. That's what they argued. So Prabhupada said, all right, 32 minimum good rounds. So there also there was objection. Swamiji, 6-7 hours a day, how we can do that? Then Prabhupada said, okay, minimum 16 good rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, and you will go home back to Godhead in this lifetime. So the question is that his Guru Maharaj said 64, Prabhupada changed the rules, but they have the authority to do that. They have the authority to do that because they are so near. And he definitely must have in his meditation taken permission from his Guru Maharaj that these boys and girls in the Western, they have no idea about Krishna. Please be kind upon them and accept them. So they have agreed to chant minimum 16 good rounds. So like this, that they can change the rules sometimes according to time, place, and circumstances. But whatever they do, wherever Prabhupada went, when he was opening a new temple, he would pray to the deities, my dear Krishna, these boys and girls, they don't know really the whole devotional process, but please accept their seva. So Krishna must accept their seva. Everything, previously there is new Jagannath Puri in San Francisco, Berkeley. And there they started the seva of Lord Jagannath they did not have ghee lamps or ghee, candles. No, according to our Vedic culture, candles is not a good idea to do arti. But according to time, place, and circumstances, Prabhupada allowed that. And Krishna, every time, whenever he opened a new temple, he would pray to Krishna. So because he is Shadanga Sharanagat, then his prayer will be heard. Sometimes we complain that, oh, I have been chanting for so many years, I've been coming to the temple for so many years, but I have certain desires Krishna is not fulfilling. That complaint is there in many devotees. But then we have to counter question ourselves. Are we Sharanga Sharanagat? Do we have the full 6 branches of Sharanagati? Then why shall Krishna listen to our prayers? So we should reconcile like that. So, like this, the topics of Krishna, birth, activities, and deliverance of Parikshit Maharaj is discussed. So, and the Kauravas and the Pandavas were killed, and Duryodhan was also killed by Bhimsen. And then later on, Ashwadhama, who was on the side of Duryodhan, he thought that he's going to do a great service to Duryodhan. And at night, illegally, Dharmashetra, Kurukshetra, it is Dharma Yuddha. In Dharma Yuddha, it is not like the Yuddha that they do nowadays, where they cheat, they sneak in the dark. Once it's daytime, then the sun blows, then they fight. In the evening, sun blows again, finished at sunset. Then they even go and meet each other in their camps, like their friends or their relatives, right? So that is Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Gaudiya Guruvar ki jai. So Ashwadhama, he did not follow the proper code of Dharma. He went into the camp where the 5 sons of Draupadi were sleeping, little boys, and he mercilessly killed them, cut their throats. He slashed. Prabhu, can you ask that parent? Thank you. Sorry, where was I? So he illegally and with adharma, he killed those innocent children. They were not even warriors, the sons of Draupadi. So then they were beheaded, and Draupadi was crying so much, full of tears. And what did Arjun say? Arjun said that I will present the head of Ashwadhama, and then I will wipe your tears. I will wipe your tears. I'll make a vow. And then you will be pacified. You will then take a bath and you will stand on the cut head of Ashwadhama. I will present you the head of Ashwadhama. Then with furious weapons, Arjun was trained by Dronacharya. He is the son of Indra. And not only that, he is a devotee of Krishna, protected by Krishna. So he, with ferocious weapons, he chased Ashwadhama in his chariot. And Ashwadhama's horses became so tired that he somehow now realized that Arjun is going to catch up with me and he will certainly kill me. So then at that time, Ashwadhama was given this benediction that he had this Brahmastra. Now this Brahmastra, as Prabhupada describes here, is a nuclear weapon. Nowadays, these nuclear weapons don't even come close to what they used to have, that Lord Ramachandra used to use, or even Ravan used at that time, when they were based on mantra, not like with any, they were subtle. Prabhupada explains that. So when Ashwadhama saw this, the Brahmastra, he immediately invoked his Brahmastra to save his life. Thereupon, what happened? That there was a huge glaring light effulgence. Those who have heard or even seen a video of the bombing of Hiroshima, when the first bomb, atomic bomb, America bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. They threw those bombs. And at that time, what happens is, because of the nuclear or the atom bomb, the huge explosion takes place. There's a lot of energy generated. And due to that, there is a lot of effulgence or a lot of heat and light generated. So here he's saying, Arjuna is saying that you descend as the incarnation to remove the burden of the world. What is that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Yada yada hi dharmasya jnanir bhavati bharata. He reminds Krishna that is why you come. And you come for the benefit of it. Paritranayam sadhuna vinashadi duskritam. So it is not for the purpose of vinashadi duskritam that he really comes. That is not his primary reason. His Maya is sufficient. Simply Maya can just simply click like this and millions of Rakshasas can be destroyed like that. But Krishna personally comes because the main reason is Paritranayam sadhuna, to give his association. Like Lord Ramachandra, the whole, many leelas have interwoven leelas. One particular leela is not sufficient, but there are many leelas joined in one. If Lord Ramachandra had not taken, if Kaikai mother had not given requested King Dashrath the boons that she will take, then Lord Ramachandra would have not gone to the forest. If he had not gone to the forest, then how could he have given his association to many devotees who are waiting for thousands and thousands of years, like Shabri as an example, right? She was very young when she joined her Gurudev's ashram, Matank Muni. And then Matank Muni was so pleased with Shabri's service that he said, one day you'll be blessed personally, Lord Rama will come. And he will come to meet you right outside this ashram. Everybody else disappeared. Gurudev went, ashram vasis left, but she was still there, very old. And every day used to clean the bath. And one day while she was cleaning, suddenly she saw the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. So there are so many interwoven leelas. Sometimes people, they say that Kaikai was bad. No, according to the Rasid Vaishnavas, she is amazing. She took that role of being a very bad mother, because in the conversation between Lord Ram and Kaikai, Lord Rama says, Mother, will you do this for me? Will you? She had forgotten about those boons. So through mantra, she was reminded. And will you do this, Mother? I'll be very grateful if you do this for me. So then she agrees to do that. Sometimes some devotees take the bad task. Like for example, one should not think when Lord Brahma got enamored by Maya and ran after his own daughter. Prabhupada has written in that purport, in that prasanga. that no, it is just a leela to show us that how powerful Maya is, that we should be very careful. Once our daughters grow up, fathers should be very careful. Our association of women, especially devotees, we call them Mataji, except our wife. Why? Because Ma or mother has the highest respect. So no other bad thoughts will come in our mind. That is the whole reason why our Vedic system has everybody, every lady, even a young girl, we address her as Mataji. That is the reason. So like this, we find in the Vedic culture, it's so amazing. So what was I saying? No, Mataji I know, but what is the main point? Huh? Ramchandra Bhagavan. So that is the reason why he comes, the lordships come for the pleasure of their devotees. Therefore, Lord Ram's name, when King Dashrath asked Vasishtha Muni, what in the Namkaran Sanskaram, that what will be the name of my firstborn child? So he said, his name will be Ram. What does Ram mean? One who will give pleasure to everyone. Especially he will give pleasure to all his devotees. So like this we find that he comes, Arjuna is praying. And especially those who are your exclusive devotees, he is constantly who are in rapt meditation of you. So you come to give them your benediction, your prayers. So this effulgence, where is it coming from? Oh Krishna, please tell me. Arjuna surrenders again here. Krishna, I am perplexed. This huge effulgence in the sky with full of heat and light. It seems to be very destructive, and I think I will be destroyed. Please help me. Pahimam, Pahimam. I surrender to you, O Krishna. So Professor Prabhupada, in the very short purport, he says that anything that is presented to Krishna, or when we make a request, it should be in the form of a nice prayer. Prayers will win the heart of Krishna. And if you see each and every acharya, everybody has composed some prayer. Like even our Srila Prabhupada, he composed 2 poems. Actually, 3 poems. Does anyone know which poems? Margine Bhagavat. Then the other poem, when he was in Jaldut, where there are 2 poems he composed. And then Bodo Kripa Gori. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. And there's a 3rd poem he composed in English. On the 1935, on the Vyas Puja day of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Adore ye all the happy day, sweeter than heaven, brighter than May. When he appeared in Puri, the holy place, my Lord and Master, his divine grace. Like that he composed in English. In that same composition he says, absolute is sentient, thou hast proved, impersonal calamity, thou hast moved. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a very ardent opposer of Mayavadis. In the last line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. He removes the obstacles and cuts to pieces all those arguments that are presented by Mayavadis. Similarly, our Prabhupada, following in his footsteps, anytime any Mayavadi issue came, immediately he would cut it to pieces based on Shastric evidence, based on the Vaishnava commentaries. He would cut it. Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. When a Mayavadi used to walk, a sannyasi, and he saw Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would change the path. And sometimes when a Mayavadi is caught, he will shake him. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, why you think Krishna has no form? Why you think Krishna has no form? Like that he would shake him. They would shiver when they would see Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So he wrote this 2 lines in that entire, when you have time you can go through the entire poetry. That absolute is sentient. Absolute means Sri Krishna, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Is sentient means he is a person. Like we are sentient. We have Chetna. Sentient in English means Chetna. Consciousness, living person. Chetna. So absolute. Krishna is the absolute truth. Satyam Param Dhimahi. He is conscious. He is Chetna. He is a person. That's why Srila Prabhupada, I've read many books before coming to Iskcon from different philosophers. But mostly in English. Actually, all in English. And never ever I had come across these words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the first time I heard these words when I read Srila Prabhupada's books. So, the Lord is a person. Like you are a person, I am a person. we are all persons. So is the Supreme Lord is a person. The description is given by those devotees who have taken his darshan. Venur Kanantam Arvindam Dalayatashram Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Tamaniya Visesha Shobham Govindavadi Purusham Tamam Bhajan. Aloka Chandra Lasada Vanmalya Vamsi Ratnangada Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindavadi Purusham Tamam Bhajan. So all his activities, all his form is described so nicely for those devotees who have actually seen Krishna. He is a person. So that is very important, that person. Some Mayavadi will come and try to teach you and say, you know what? You are God. You are God. You are God. You are all God. That sounds so good. But if a Vaishnava says, you are going to be eternally servant here also, and even when you reach in the spiritual world. So that is not so palatable to hear. That is why there are more followers of Mayavadis. They like that. Who does not like some flattery? Who doesn't like the illusion? Everybody loves illusion. What is movies? We are seeing the movie on the screen and we are crying, we are laughing. We are laughing at illusion. It is, in reality, it's not there. So that is Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastapum Satyam Param Dhimai. Due to the interactions of the three modes of material nature, this illusion is created. That is Maya. So like this, we find Prabhupada said that we must pray. Before we want something from Krishna, offer some stuti. That is the whole idea. Just don't say, Krishna, give me this. He is not our order supplier. One time Srila Prabhupada was in Crossmaidan, Mumbai. And our Indian man only in Bombay. He stood up and challenged Prabhupada. Swami ji, agar Bhagwan hai to Bhagwan dikhaiye. Right in front of 10,000 people. If there is God, show me God. And then Prabhupada, in a very thunderous voice, said that Krishna तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं है जो बंसी बजाते बजाते तुम्हारे सामने खड़ा हो जाएगा. पहले योग्यता प्राप्त करो. Now you sit down, बैठ जाओ. So the thing is that stutis have to be offered. Even when we approach a Vaishnava, few sweet words should be offered. If we want something, we have to do that. All our acharyas have wonderful poems. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji, full of Gitavali, Sharanagati, Kalyan Kalpartaru, Sri Narottam Das Thakur, all these wonderful prayers in Pratna, Prem Bhakti Chandrika. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote so many wonderful poems. All of them are poets. That is why in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second line, Tene Brahma Hriday Adi Kavai. Brahmaji's address, Vasudev addresses Brahmaji as Adi Kavi. The first poet. Prabhupada has wonderfully said that Lord Brahma is our first poet in our line. So that is so important. That is the standard procedure. Srila Prabhupada says that. So Arjun, though an intimate friend of Krishna, is observing the method, that is the proper method of learning and offering prayers to how our acharyas have offered. So Ashwatthama, finally, just winding up this, Ashwatthama has thrown hymns, Prabhupada says. Hymns means mantras. He had translated this, Srimad Bhagavatam, with the very old English. Hymns. So those are hymns also. When they pray, hymns means prayers. He didn't use the word mantras, but hymns means he used mantras. So Ashwatthama touched water and then he touched the Brahmastra on his forehead and started chanting mantras. And that's how the Brahmastra got activated. Just like a nuclear weapon, who has the best nuclear weapons in the world? Russia and USA. And if they have to activate it, who activates it? The president. They have a briefcase. And whenever there is wartime, the special briefcase is opened and they have the nuclear buttons to activate it. So they activate it by pressing electronic buttons. But our Vedic culture is such, Prabhupada is saying that just by mantras, those nuclear weapons were activated. Simply by saying some mantras, touching some water, doing some achavanam. So Ashwatthama had activated the Brahmastra, which is a very, very powerful nuclear weapon. And he does not know now how to retract it. So all weapons that are activated by mantras, they not only do their job, but then they come back. Like when Krishna releases Sudarshan Chakra, it is not that like, in a gun there is a bullet. Once you release the bullet is gone, finished. That weapon comes back, it retrieves. There is a mantra to release the weapon, and there is a mantra to retract the weapon. Now, Ashwadhama did not know how to retract this nuclear weapon. By the way, just as a side note, I'm sure there's some here devotees who have studied science. We had studied this at a very preliminary level in school. What is the structure of the atom? There is nucleus, neutron, proton, and electron. Now, the protons and electrons, they go at a very, very high speed. They are rotating, extremely high speed. And in the nucleus resides Paramatma. That is, the verse is there in the Brahma Samhita. Anda, Paramanu Charantarastha. In every atom, Krishna, who is present in our heart as Paramatma, the expansion of Shirodakshai Vishnu is present in every atom. And that is the reason why the protons and electrons get that energy to rotate. Now, when the modern Rakshasas, they break that orbit of those electrons and protons that are revolving, then at that time, the Lord feels that he's being pushed out of his home of the atom. So similarly, we can think that if some gunda comes into our home and tries to push us and take our home, we will become aggressive, right? Whatever means we have, we will try to defend and stop that hooligan, all right, that who is going to take our home. So similarly, the Lord lives in a lot of anger, and that explosion is created because the Lord's anger in the nuclear atom bomb or the nuclear explosion is because Paramatma leaves that atom with a lot of unhappiness due to him being unhappy. And that is not the natural state. Just like our natural state is, we are very nicely situated in our own home. But if some aggressor comes and says that now you must leave, or pushes us out, then how we will feel? Similarly, when that happens, of course the Lord can stop it, but he does not. But he is not happy. And he leaves, and that's why this huge nuclear explosion, which can destroy many, many countries in one explosion, the weapons are like that nowadays. So like this, in this particular chapter, in this particular 27th verse, he does not know how to retract the Brahmastra. And in a similar way, in the modern nuclear weapon, Prabhupada is saying, the atomic energy works wholly on a gross level. So there are components inside the nuclear bomb, like uranium, enriched uranium, etc. But for these nuclear weapons, they are subtle. Simply by mantras, they are activated. And that's how they work. So this is the Samam Bonam of the 27th verse. It creates an intolerable heat similar to the atomic radiation. So Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Oh, okay, we can take, I thought there was Aarti.
It's okay, we can take the question.
Okay. So Prabhuji has requested if anybody has any questions, one or two questions. Please, is there an extra mic for the listeners online?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, Shri Krishna allowed to create Brahmastra because it has good side also and bad side. We can use Brahmastra for good also and for bad. But in the nuclear, there is no good side. But still, Paramatma allowed that. Okay.
So what's your question? Why he allowed it?
Yes.
Okay, very nice question. So you can shut that mic. I think it is causing unbalanced cable or weak cable. It's loose inside. So that's a good question. Did everybody hear the question properly? That Brahmastra is created for good and bad. But nowadays in the modern world, the nuclear weapons or the weapons are only created for destruction. There is no good. So why does the Supreme Lord allow that? So to that, we can also kind of have a parallel question to understand your question. So the same question many people ask, that why does Lord allow bad things in this world? Hmm? Somebody is being killed. Somebody is they are there. The thieves steal their possessions. So many wrong things are happening in this world. Why does He allow that? So for that, the answer is that it is karma. And please try to understand. People who are talking in the back, my humble request, please do not talk. Mothers, please control your children. This child is roaming alone. So it's karma. Somebody's karma is such because of his past, not only this lifetime but many lifetimes, it accumulates. What we call in America is called snowballing. When a small snowball forms in the top of the mountain and as it keeps falling, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So since time immemorial, Anadikal, we are actually accumulating a lot of bad karma, sinful activities that we have accumulated, that you and I, we don't know what we have done. But the laws of the Supreme Lord are very perfect. They're not like this law that we find in the material world, that if somebody kills 1,000 people, murders them, but what will the Supreme Court give him? Only one punishment, hang him to death. But is that the perfect punishment? No. But the Lord is perfect and his punishments are perfect. So then what happens? That the laws of karma are such that we have to pay for every misdeed that we have done, for every pap we have done, somehow or the other, and it will continue until it becomes zero, until those expire. Those pap, the sins expire. So it will continue. Now somebody needs to be punished, and somebody's karma is that he will act as the one who will give punishment. Okay, so supposing, as an example, there is somebody who gets robbed, okay, because he deserves to be robbed from the highest perspective because of his past karma, he gets robbed. And the person robbing, the thief, uh, his intensity is so much that because of his past karma, I want to continue my bad habits of stealing. So those whose intensity is very high amongst the thieves, small thief will want to pickpocket. A bigger thief's intensity is what? I want to rob not the small 500, 2,000 rupees in somebody's wallet. I want to rob the whole bank. And because his intensity is so great, Paramatma within his heart sanctions it. Okay, fine. These corporate people, they have cheated many people. So what you do now, we will make you the perfect match. Like there are so many websites that make the perfect match, so-called perfect match of what we call Viva, marriage. So similarly, in the laws of karma, there is perfect matching done, depending on the karma of each individual. So what happens? That particular thief who is so intently, I know I want to steal lakhs and crores of rupees. And it is so intense in the heart that Paramatma has to notice it. Okay, fine. I will give you intelligence, how to loot that big bank, which is in the main bazaar. See what time you observe for a few days, what time the clerk is coming, what time, when that first person is entering in there, like that, he observes. And like Krishna only gives him the intelligence, how to, if there is a residence upstairs, it is empty for rent, you go ahead and rent that apartment, and then in the middle of the night, dig a big hole, go inside, break open the tijori, and take all the money. So this is also sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. Try to follow this. This is very important because this question has come many, many times. And we sometimes, if the clarity is not there, then we will blame the Lord. We will become agnostic, meaning we will become atheistic. Because so many people say, why good people are suffering? What kind of a Bhagavan it is that will make good people suffer? But good people from our perspective, we don't know what that person did in his last lifetimes, many, many lifetimes. So Krishna's laws are very perfect. So he makes that match. So now coming to your question, you can add 2 plus 2 equals 4 because mass karma of many countries, they like even now there are tsunamis attacking many countries. So Prabhupada said it is mass karma. When sometimes so many people are dying of hunger in Africa, and many places where there is no food or scarcity of food, many people are dying, all to a lot. In COVID, so many people died. That is mass karma. You understand the word mass karma? Cumulative, so many. It incurs so much. So only some pious people are saved, or some people's karma or piety is so much more piety that it is not time for them yet to suffer and live. So that match is being made by Krishna through a Maya. She is the agent that she will serve Krishna. Icha anurupam vicha cheshtate sa govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So she acts exactly as Krishna directs her. And then rewards or awards or punishes according to the karma. Now, the question may arise, I'll add a little bit more. How can we stop this cycle? And that cycle can be stopped of karma, good or bad. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Nistray bhava guna arjuna. Please go beyond the three modes of material nature. So when we go beyond the three modes of material nature, at that time, we will qualify ourselves from Satogun to Shuddha Sattvam. Shuddha Sattvam means transcendental platform. And when we reach that platform, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. All karmas are destroyed, good and bad, pious and impious, pap and punya, they are destroyed. Sarva dharman paritijya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami asacha. So anybody who has taken to bhakti, they can put a full stop. They can put a full stop to their karma, pap karma or punya karma, and that will transport us to the highest platform, which is the spiritual world. So otherwise, it's impossible to stop the snowball of karma. It will continue. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev Ki Jai. Jagannath Prabhu. Does that answer your question or not yet? And you can be honest. If you're not, please, I will try my best.
Actually, I have a kind of by taking to Krishna consciousness, our karma can be directed. But we can see devotees are also killed by
Very good question.
In Russia Ukraine war, devotees were giving.
I understand.
And
yes. So his question is, and I will kind of throw more light on his question, that why do devotees suffer? Why do devotees suffer? Correct? They have taken to Krishna consciousness. Some say this devotee has chanted 20 years, 30 years. Why are they suffering? So to that, Prabhupada gives the answer very nicely. Okay, please pay attention. Because these questions are arising in everybody's minds, and unless and until they are not clear, and you are asking good questions like Shuddha Goswami. Shuddha Goswami, he appreciates that you are asking questions for the benefit of all. So questions should be asked in such a way that it will be benefiting all. Not some nonsense question that is wasting the time of the speaker and wasting the time of the audience. So good question. Why do devotees suffer? So Srila Prabhupada said one day, the same question appeared in front of him. And Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, stand up. And at that time, Prabhupada, the fan was going on at full speed, wherever they were sitting in that room. So he said, now you stand up, there is the switch, shut the fan off. So that devotee stood up, the one who asked the question just like you, why devotees suffer? So Prabhupada said, stand up, shut off the switch. And then he shuts the switch off. Then he says, look at the fan, what is happening? So what is the answer? Everybody knows the answer. What is happening when you cut the switch off on a fast moving fan? Slowly, it will come to a full stop. But it is still going on slowly. So he says, when we take to Krishna consciousness, until we come to the pure platform, it is like that fan, our past karma will still act on us. But Krishna is so kind that when we take to devotional service, even in our preliminary state, he will definitely cut our karma quickly. So, but it is not that when you shut the switch, when the fan is rotating, it will come to a full stop. No. It rotates, and then comes to a full stop. So that's the answer that Prabhupada. Now, one more component to this conversation with Srila Prabhupada and the devotee. So Prabhupada said that yes, when taking devotional service, all your past karma will be deleted. But if you are not on a pure platform, you know where the switch is. You didn't get it. You know where the switch is. Meaning, when again you know where the switch is, you turn it on, again the reactions of karma will start. So Prabhupada said that. So we have to be very careful. Once we take to devotional service, be serious. It will, all these things will happen. But what is that verse in Brahma Samhita? Here is our expert on Brahma Samhita. Yat sambrita kala chakro. Even I forgot the list, but the essence is that Raja Samasta Sura Murtis Ashesha Tejahat Ich Tatya Chakshuresa Savita Sakala Grihanam Yasya 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 Agya. The important word is Agya. So even the planets, sometimes we have certain, according to karma, the planets are awarding us such difficulties. Some dasha, Shani dasha, Mangal dasha, that dasha is there. Even when we take to devotional service, it's not that it will go away. But Yasya Agya. But the king of the planets is the Surya Dev. And when Surya Dev is pleased, all other planets must be pleased. Because he's the king. If the king says do this, then the rest of the planets have to follow. So one who has taken to pure devotional service, then all those planets or the grahas, then they will be favorable to that devotee. Or they will at least not create any impediments. So devotional service is very powerful. But until and unless we come to that point of surrender, then little bit of some karmic reactions that includes death, akal mrityu, all these things. That's why when we chant those mantras, when we take the Charanamrit, akal mrityu haranam sarvavyadhi vinashanam Vishnu padadakam pitva sirsa dharyamiham. So my dear Lord, I'm taking your Charanamrit. Please vanquish any akal mrityu, accidental death or just sudden death. Sarvavyadhi vinashanam. Take away all my diseases. Vishnu Padudagam Pitva. I take the Charanamrit washed, that was washed the lotus feet of Krishna. Sirsa Dharyamiham. And then I put that Charanamrit on my head. So this is the science. It's a science. Very, very, nobody can answer this. And if you give me 2 extra minutes, I will mention one personal experience. In Canada, one time, when I just come from US, I've always been a business person. Of course, I'm retired for the last 7-8 years. Just my only business is getting the Association of Vaishnavas. So I had taken a very small job at that time, going to the different labs where to collect the blood samples. So the doctors would collect those samples, put it in a fridge, and we have this big lab that would test those samples and then give back the report for their patients. So my job was to go and collect those samples, and there was a Canadian white gentleman who was also a very rich person, but he was doing this for his time pass to keep himself busy. So he was driving and I was under his training. So one time he took me to one hospital, because in the hospital we have samples that we have to collect and take it to the main lab. So he said, when he parked the car, he told me, and my training was like 8 hours a day for the whole week, how to go to the different doctors or the hospitals and collect the blood samples. So he was the most experienced in that company. So he was training me, and during our driving, it took sometimes hour and a half to go from one point to another point. So we always used to have some conversation. So in my conversation, I always try to bring Krishna in the center, no matter. And he was an atheist, born in a Christian family. So I was bringing this conversation. So during that conversation, he kind of, out of respect, didn't say much. He says, I don't believe in God. So I said, why? I just don't. So many experiences I see. Same thing he said. So many good people, they are suffering. So what kind of a God there is? He said the same thing to me, what I mentioned. Then when we parked in the parking lot in the back of the hospital, there is a morgue. Shavalai. That So where the dead bodies are stored. So at that time, and there in US and Canada and Europe, they have a system that they do not allow the bodies to be taken home from the hospital, or even when the person dies at home, the body is taken to the morgue. You cannot keep it in the house, or like here we keep for few hours and then we take them to the smashan, right, for cremating. But no, you don't do that. So anyways, to make a long story short, uh, he showed me, you see that little van? It was a hearse van. Hearse van is where they bring in the dead bodies after they die. And you see that little box? So yeah, the driver who was bringing that van, it was like a little shoe box. You know, when you go to the to buy shoes, maybe a bigger shoe box size. You know what's inside that? I said, no, tell me. That's a baby that was just born, and that baby died. Where is your God? He asked me that question. Where is your God? Where is God? So then we had many hours throughout the whole week. I explained the law of karma. I said, even the Americans and the Canadians now, they have accepted the word karma in their normal vocabulary. Now it is accepted, karma. So what is karma? You guys say bad karma, good karma. What is bad karma, good karma? Do you understand what that is? So then I explained some things about the Bhagavad Gita. I explained what karma is, what is piety, impiety, pap, punya, and what is bhakti. So somehow or the other, I felt that he was convinced. So that little child who had just taken birth had died. Apparently, he had not done any karma after birth, but previous birth. And that is why our Sanatan Dharma has answers to all these questions that Christianity cannot answer, Islam cannot answer, no major religion in the world cannot answer. Only our Sanatan Dharma has all these answers, and they are there in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's only a matter of us hearing and showing some interest and reading. And when we do that, then we will understand this science. Why? Why is it that somebody is born, little baby is born with a silver spoon in his mouth or a golden spoon? All the toys, big mansion, big villa, 20 servants. Once he cries a little, 5 people will come with some different toys. But one is born on the footpath, no food to eat. Even mother is so malnourished that she doesn't get any milk in her chest. So much. So what is the reason? Is God bad? No, he is not. According to him, it is our fault that we choose our minded independence in the wrong way, where he will not interfere. Why he will not interfere? Because Krishna, in the Bhagavatam, it says, he is Swarat. In the first verse, look up the meaning. Swarat means he is fully independent. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mama Yansha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. We are his Ansha. So now, if we are his Ansha, that means we have all his qualities, but in a very, very minute form. So similarly, imagine, just to give an example, this shawl. Let's say, if the shawl is fully made of wool, and if I take one small thread out of it, what is the quality of this thread? Loudly, please. It's wool. It is not. It is not silk. It is not mixed. If this is pure wool, this shawl, this is also pure wool. Similarly, Krishna, we are his part and parcels. He's fully independent, and because we are his part and parcels, we have got this minute independence. So we can use it in a good way, like all of you have come to this temple, spent your Sunday morning or afternoon here, or you could have chosen to do so many activities that most people in this world, they are blindly doing. So this is the use of minded independence. That minded independence usage will take us back to Vaikuntha. That is what, and we can only use it properly if we follow the process. So the best process in Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So that is the do. When we are sick, the doctor gives us prescription or tells us advices, do's and don'ts. Supposing if somebody has bad diarrhea, doctor will say, I will give you this strong medicine, you take it. But what is not to be done? Don't eat pakoda immersed in ghee. Don't eat all these heavy foodstuffs. Do's and don'ts. So what is the don'ts? Our spiritual doctor is his divine graces. You find them all on that altar. So our spiritual doctors have said, the do's is chant the holy names of Krishna, associate with the Vaishnavas. This is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that. Read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like that. Archa Vigraha, every home should do some puja. And whenever you get time, you have to go to the tirthas. These 5 things, if we do nicely, then our spiritual advancement is guaranteed. And what is the don'ts? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. It's not that Prabhupada got some dream. Don't do this. It is in the Shastra, Mahabharata. We are talking about Mahabharata right now. Striyam dutam panam shunam yatra dharma chaturvida. Striyam means associating out of wedding, out of marriage with either boy or girl, out of marriage, having relationship. Striyam, dutam, gambling. Panam means intoxication. And shunam means meat eating. Yatra, these, adharma chaturvida. They are adharma. So if one wants to advance, if one wants to get healthy, we are all diseased right now. Then we have to follow the doctor's prescription perfectly. Like sometimes my wife complains that, you like a lot of sweets, I have diabetes. So I tell her, I will take tablet. No, but that is not the optimal solution. I have to stop sweets completely, and then the diabetes will go away with exercise and all. But I don't want to do exercise, and I don't want to stop eating sweets also. So similarly, we have this problem. Even within our devotees, once we have taken to the process, we don't take it very seriously. We have to take it very seriously. Then, just like a student who takes his studies very seriously will excel in class. Will get 100%, 99.9%. And there are some students who get 50%, 40%. Some students fail. So do we want to be in that group where we can be excellent? Our doctors are excellent. What is the point of those doctors being excellent if the patients are bad? So I hope I was able to satisfy your query, Prabhuji, and anybody who had the same kind of question in their mind. So God is not bad. Krishna is not bad. Somebody says that you are Samadarshina. You are equal to everybody. Then why like this? Another question can arise. So the answer to that is, a teacher, when is correcting the paper, each mark is one question is 1 mark, there is 100 questions. So if somebody has answered all 100 questions correctly, gets 100 marks. Another student has answered all 100 questions correctly, also gets 100 marks. That is Sama. But somebody who has answered 60 questions correctly, he gets 60 marks. Another student has also answered 60 questions correctly, he gets 60 marks. Somebody 30. So that is Samadarshina. So one who Krishna is Samadarshana. Karma acts equally upon everyone, depending on what kind of karma it is. But if we take to devotion, then we have a special corner. Prahlad Maharaj says that then Krishna, even Arjuna says this in this, we just read that because you are the friend of devotees, because you take, therefore I'm praying to you, please tell me, what is this unbelievable effulgence, this light, this heat, where is it coming from? It seems that I'm going to die. Krishna, please save me. So Krishna then saves Arjuna. So this is the process. So kindly take to this. Our Prabhupada said that to make one devotee, it takes thousands of gallons of blood. So simply let's not, and that is what Mahaprabhu said, that Bharat Bhumi de Manusya Janma hoila ja Jivan Sarthak kori karo paropkar Amaragya taro hi desh jare dekho tare kaho Krishna updesh. One who has taken birth in this land of Bharatvarsh or in India, in Bharat, especially Manusya Janma, most fortunate. Jivan Sarthak kari, please take to this process of Krishna consciousness, make your life successful, and karo paropkar, give it to others. That is real Vaishnava. Vaishnav janto tene kahiye je pida parai jane, para dukhe upakara kare, par man na aave abhiman re. And Narsi Mehta, pure devotee, has composed this, and it was one of the favorite bhajans of Gandhiji. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Shri Prabhupada ki. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
That's a wonderful class by His Grace Satchitananda Prabhu.
जय श्री प्रभुपाद, जय गुरुदेव।
So we should all definitely thank Prabhuji for the wonderful class. Very much lovely chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। And I would like all of us to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the entire audience who has patiently listened to this class and tolerated me.
And we are coming, you come every winter to India. So please make your note, Sangaur is also in
I will try my best, Prabhuji. One second. I cannot guarantee that because again, I'm becoming a little philosophical. One time, Yudhishthir Maharaj told somebody, tomorrow I will see you. And Bhimsen, yes, and Bhimsen said his brother, he went with the big nagaras into Hastinapur, dam, 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 and everybody gathered. What happened? What happened? This is my brother has conquered time. He said, tomorrow. What is the guarantee we will be there tomorrow? Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for your kindness. You are very kind. You invited me. And Prabhuji, you too. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji is come all the way from Canada and he was on time. We were telling in the beginning. So devotees who came late, we would like to reiterate that the class starts at 11:30, not at 12 o'clock. So please be on time. This is a humble request for every Sunday. Prabhuji said the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. We should follow that. And devotees who are interested to continue hearing from Prabhuji, today evening he will give a class at 7:30 sharp. So 7 o'clock, please be assembled. Let's do the kirtan and welcome Prabhuji. आज का शाम का क्लास हिंदी में होगा. So devotees who are blessed today morning's class, please be available in the evening. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
One second. No. What I was saying is one thing because he said something about time. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Kalo asmi. I am time. So if we don't take the time, time will take us out.
And first point is hearing only. What hear that there is nothing going to happen.
Hearing is the first process. Like Prabhuji said, when even as a little child just starting to speak, what do the mother and father and the grandparents say? Bolo dada, bolo papa, bolo mummy. Through Shravan process, they learn how to speak. So through Shravan process, it's the first amongst the Navda Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. So Shravanam is very important. Thank you for bringing up that good point.
Okay, so Prabhuji started with the Sotagilamritam, the importance of hearing bhajans, kirtans, and he ended with doing paropakar. So wonderful month going on. Devotees have gone out to do book distribution everywhere. If you have not been able to participate, please do now. You have the wonderful opportunity. The temple is got all the books that you require. Please contact the PPT doctor